Hello everyone, Jurassic Man here, and today we're going to be doing a review of the next Roarivores for Wave 2, the Pteranodon. Now first, before we get to the review, we always like to start off the box. And as always, Pteranodon here, and in the back of the box, you get a nice picture of the Pteranodon, you got the Carnotaurus, you got the Pachyrhinosaurus, and we got the Indominus thing. And of course, here's a barcode for the figure. Take a good look at that. That's all you're gonna get. So, let's get right to the figure. Now, being a Pteranodon figure, it's not gonna stand, because as you know, most Pteranodon figures don't really stand that well. I mean, you can make the old Kenner one stand, but that's a bit of a stretch right there. This Pteranodon figure is by far one of my favorite so far in these Jurassic World toys, because first off, this is basically a larger scale model of the ones you get in the smaller packs or in the bundle packs you will get in most of the line. And as you may know, most of those lines, including this one, has a Jurassic Park 3 Pteranodon than a Jurassic World one. Because compared to Jurassic Park 3 one, here, let's do a comparison. A Jurassic Park 3 Pteranodon head compared to a Jurassic World Pteranodon head, there is a huge difference between them. Although it's not much of a huger difference than that of the Lost World version. And the Lost World version is a much different head sculpt, as it's more of a archaic design of Pteranodon, you know, more bat-like than Pteranodon-like. But anyways, enough with comparisons of previous stuff. Let's do a comparison of this figure. Now the sculpt for this Pteranodon is exquisite. I mean, for the body sculpt, it's not much, more of wrinkles and lines, and is mostly glossed over the thing. But I think the selling point of this figure is, of course, his wings. And just look at these wings. Look how sculpted they are. They have creases, just like those of the old ones. And this paint job, this paint apple on top, it's nice contrast to coloration right here. This red with this white, and these reds right between acting like veins. Now, what some people don't know, and I'm actually surprised a lot of people don't know, but the Pteranodon Hands, this is all the hand right here. These are their fingers. We have like this. The Pteranodon hand is just like the 4 fingers on your body, except the pinky finger doesn't exist. That's right, Pteranodons have 3 fingers, but what's the other one? Well, that would be the thumb finger. And of course, thumbs don't count as a finger in my knowledge. So basically, a Pteranodon is basically a bird with an extra hinge up here. And this hinge, this ring finger, is what the Pteranodon finger is, which is pretty cool in my opinion. So as birds confuse these 2 fingers, and bats use the whole hand, Pteranodons use these as more of a standing platform, while the rest of the finger, or this one finger itself, is a whole wing membrane that stretches throughout the body. And I gotta say, that's pretty impressive. However, what's not impressive is the underside of the wing, which does show the veins on the wings itself, but there's no coloration here, and the gloss kind of glosses over this a bit. So yeah, you can see underneath there, since this is a Roarivore, this has a speaker on top of his chest, right there. And just for the occasion, here is the scan barcode if you could get it. I'm not zooming in, I'm just getting you to get it. There's also this trademark stamp right here. No, not trademark, these legal mumbo jumbo. And of course, there's the trademark stamp, the Jurassic World. The hands, or the feet, are not posable. They are in hinges in a way, sort of a swivel if you can see very closely. However, I wouldn't recommend pushing those all the way because they do pop out. Unlike mine, so I was trying to see if I could try to fit a figure in here, in his hands. And mine's kind of opened up a bit, if you can see right there. Yeah, so Picaro was easy. These are rubber, so that's good when it comes to holding the figure. But I feel like those need to be more secured more. And of course, let's get to the head sculpt. Now the head on this thing is just gorgeous. I mean, I don't know if you could get it very well. There we go. And it looks just like the one from Jurassic Park 3, minus the fact that it does not have the Jurassic Park 3 colors, but the Jurassic World coloration, as the Jurassic World has more of a red on the head. However, the bill or whatever you call it, the thing behind his back, this protrusion protruding out from the backside of his head is just as long as that of the first one, and it doesn't have like very muscly detail of the skull like that of the Pteranodon. Now, something I didn't notice until somebody pointed it out during the Jurassic World when it was first released is that Jurassic Park 3 had teeth. Now, a lot of people saying only JP3 had teeth, but actually the Jurassic World ones have teeth. As you can see one in the cast I showed earlier, that it did have teeth, which means the Lost World, even though we don't have a good clear head sculpt of that, probably didn't have teeth as well. So which means from the Lost World having no teeth to GP3 to Jurassic World having actual teeth. The name Pteranodon, I get this, the name Pteranodon means toothless wing. Emphasis on toothless. They don't need teeth to eat. They got a long mouth for that too. But I guess that explains with the other DNAs that they mix in. I mean, not all dinosaurs in Jurassic Park are accurate. In fact, probably the more accurate looking dinosaur in the whole franchise would have to be the Carnotaurus, and that thing's still shrink wrap. But it's still the most accurate looking dinosaur in the whole franchise. It's funny. I blame Crash McCurry for this. They're all stylized, that's why. That's why the newer ones look more like actual dinosaurs, because they're not stylized too well. But yeah, sculpting is very nice on the wings. The body is not very detailed very well, more like just creases and kind of glossed over. The head sculpt is nice, it's very, very nice, but there's no paint in the inside of the mouth except the tongue, and the teeth are not even painted as well, which is kind of a bum, but I really don't mind if it had teeth or not. I actually really do mind if it had no teeth, because I don't need teeth on my Pteranodon, my toothless wing reptile. But yeah, paint job is great, sculpt is great, so let's get right into articulations. There are none. In fact, the only articulation is in the jaw and the neck. The neck is on a ball joint, which means you can swoop this all the way around, up and down, and look in many directions. The jaw is on a hinge, which means you can pull it this far back and this far forward. However, you can't get it close because the head is made out of rubber piece. And because of that, kind of bends right here on the finger. So, yeah. It's not much of articulation other than just two. I guess you could count the wings as articulation, but that acts as the action feature, just like the Ankylosaurus tail, which we're going to get to right now. Now let's get to action features. Now this is going to be kind of hard to show because the Pteranodon is pretty long and very hard to, very stiff. No joke right there, I guess. But yeah, what would you do is that you press this button on the back and the wings will fling up. Now I gotta say it's pretty hard because the wing mechanism, or just the action feature itself, is pretty stiff. There's one. That's every 4 roar, and if you constantly press it, the Pteranodon will actually flap. And that's basically of the action feature. I did forget to mention that the articulations does go on the flip on the wings, and this actually is pretty familiar. Now, if you say why does it look familiar, well that's because I already had a figure just like that. And that is the Jurassic Park 3 Alpha Pteranodon. As you can see, its wings fold out just as the old new Pteranodon is, and it has a flying feature just like the new one. This is a lot more smoother, and it's a lot more, I guess, less noisy. As the noise goes for the dino damage piece right here, and of course the head up here. As of the new one, which only has articulation on the head, meaning you can't do the thing, but you can only make the sound by pressing the feature on the back. However, this is more loud than this one. And this one doesn't get stuck too well, because I've seen a lot that these Jurassic Park 3 Alpha Pteranodons easily break a lot. And this is no exception to mine. I mean, mine's its head or neck of the base keeps falling off. This is the third time I've glued it back in, and it's quite a damage is made to the figure itself, because if you look on this side, there is a huge crack from the head breaking off. Now let's just hope this doesn't happen to this one. I hope Mattel has a better quality control than Asblo over here. But you know what? Even their first figures were much better than that of the new Jurassic World figures from 2015. So yeah, play feature's nice, articulation is good, and the paint job is great. Sculpt could be meh. And I say it should have been painted in the mouth a bit more, but overwise, all of this is pretty good. So let's get right into comparisons. We already showed the comparison of the first Pteranodon, and as you can see, the Alpha Pteranodon still held up on its name of being the Alpha Pteranodon. Next we have Owen and the small Dimorphodon from the attack pack, or whatever they call them. Overall, they scale up pretty nicely. I do have to say that the Pteranodon is a bit bigger, and I guess the Dimorphodon is pretty good size. But yeah, it's pretty good. Next we could do another comparison of the other Roarivores that came out for Wave 2, the Ankylosaurus, one we already did a review on. And of course, the Ankylosaurus is too small, and the Pteranodon's too big. Honestly, when Mattel said they were going to do some size comparisons, I didn't really mean there would be this much size differences. And of course, we have Baryonyx, or Barry for short. I'm sorry for some people who want another Barry episode, but I'll get to them. I have like 2 of them in the process. But yeah. And of course, he's a comparison with the Smash and Throw Tyrannosaurus Rex. Honestly, if there's a repaint for this Pteranodon, I hope it's an homage to the unreleased or the cancelled draft for Jurassic Park 3 with the Alpha Pteranodon, because that's pretty cool. And I also found out that the Alpha Pteranodon makes a cameo in the arcade game for Jurassic Park 3, and that's pretty cool too. Yeah. So what do I think of this Pteranodon? Well, the sculpt is pretty alright in the wings, not very impressive on the body. The head is pretty good. Color-wise, it's pretty good. I mean, for a Jurassic World Pteranodon, then again, it is a Jurassic Park 3 Pteranodon, so you kind of make some differences with that, but overall, I think it's pretty good. Electronics are fine. I do gotta say, I wish they used the Jurassic Park 3 ones. Those were my favorite Pteranodon noises. I mean, the Lost World is like, what? Screaming bird or something. But yeah. I would give this Pteranodon a 4.5 out of 5. I know I'll be getting pretty low score, but you know what, I gotta be pretty honest. Some of these figures do lack on some stuff, but you know what, that's just my general opinion. If you want to grab one of these Pteranodons, I would recommend it for you. I mean, they are pretty hard to find at the moment. I mean, I did find this, or I did buy this in Amazon and all places, so there's that. This guy retails for at least $14.99 in most stores. If you do find them in Walmart, they still have the rollback sale, just like the Ankylosaurus and many other things. So they will be at least $12. I bought this guy for $10 in Amazon due to a $5 deal, because, you know, Amazon like to do that some stuff. So, hope you guys like this review. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.